what's going on everyone? This is Brian here from Eastwood Racing. Thanks for checking out this video. Today I'm going to show you guys what a full session looks like for Gridlife here, track battle in Mid-Ohio. This is our second session of the day. Now this particular session is going to be a little bit different, and I'm letting you guys know in advance, there are going to be some stoppages due to accidents or just things on the track. And I thought it was important to show you guys who have maybe never been to a track day before, or sorry, been to a time attack competition before, especially with the Gridlife, to kind of see what it looks like, because it's a lot different than just your normal track day.
Radio set, radio set.
That's me talking to Kiana, who's one of my spotters and teammate and best girlfriend ever. And we're gonna head off here. We're leaving at Mid-Ohio. This is turn one, leaving the pit entry lane here. I wanted to give a shout out to Sabelt. Really appreciate you guys for coming out with these gloves from us. We were wearing the Hero TG9. These are a custom set they made for us here at Eastwood Racing, as you guys can tell by the patterns. Shout out to Andre and Eric. Absolutely love them. Comfort is incredible. You guys have seen the yellow gloves I used in my previous videos. These are actually the same glove, same model glove. This is one that has just been updated and obviously looks super wicked. If it's something you're interested to, let us know. You can always drop a line for us here at Eastwood Racing. It's eastwoodracing@gmail.com if you're interested in a pair of gloves just like that. So we're coming down off the main straight here into Madness. This is this tight right, left, right section that's uphill. Very, very different. A lot of fun. It makes it one of my favorite tracks here in the USA just because of just how varied the track is and just different areas. You can just push your car and figure out what lines work. There's not one set line for this particular course, which makes it very interesting. Absolutely love that. So now we're in the back half of the course. This is just a warm-up lap. Just trying to see, what the car is willing to work with. We're running the 255/35/18 tires from Accelera. Got a little bit of our spewing wing cam coming in right here. It's always nice to be able to see the outside perspective. If it's something you guys like to see, let me know. I'll definitely include more of this in my videos. But hitting this left-hander, getting ready to head into the carousel, which will be the end of this lap and starting our first flyer lap with our Miata friend here in front of us. Third gear onto the main straight. Now this is time attack. I'm not going to make a pass here in this guy. This is our, like I said, our second session of the day, and it's not really time to really trying to push people and things like that. I'm still learning the car. I'm still learning how the tires are gripping. Things are definitely still cold. And the opportunity comes to pass. We'll get to it later on. But for now, we're staying safe, maintaining some distance, and just really learn the track. This is definitely one of those differences between track day and time attack. With time attack, you really, especially with Gridlife, you only have a few sessions per day to really set your best time. So you do really want to get on with it. So we'll just make this pass here real quick. Let that Turbo Parts Canada TPC20 spool, and away we go. So now we're hitting about 125 down here into Madness here, turn 4 and 5 and 6. Braking early, still testing out the new pads, the tires, making sure everything works well here. But going back to what I was talking about, time attack and track day. For a track day, you might have 7-8 sessions a day to, find your best line, go fast, go slow, do whichever. When it comes to competition days, you really have to get onto it very, very early because we only get maybe 3 or 4 sessions a day, at least with Gridlife. And for me, that's a big change. For CSCS, we'll have 7 to 8 sessions. That's just time attack focused. But in Gridlife, you're sharing the track with HVDE. Sometimes there's drifting and a bunch of other things. So you really want to maximize your track time. So one warm-up lap, and then you really want to get onto it because your best time might be on Friday, and unlike CSCS, there is no final here. So if you set your best lap on your first session, and then it rains the next 2 days, you might luck out because no one else can match the time due to the weather. So you really want to get onto it. It's a different set of format than how CSCS has a finale at the end of every race, which adds a little excitement to it. So we're starting our quick lap here into turn 1. I try to keep entry here around 72. I want to start pushing into the 75s for entry just to kind of keep the speed up, and we'll get to that later on. But onto our first mini straight, up here into the keyhole, keep things nice to the left of the track, nice and stable. We're gonna, almost forgot to shift there, putting it into third gear, nice and easy. We're gonna follow our buddy here in the Mustang. Looks like he's being held up by that, I can't tell what it is in front of him, but he looks like he's having to slow down a little bit for that particular car, so we'll just kind of keep pace. This is what I like to do when I know it's not going to be a fast lap. Just try to figure out how can I maximize my lines. What can I do to practice with my braking? And if this was a wheel-to-wheel race, because I do want to get into TCR, what would my line of attack be? Closing in pretty rapidly here, my buddy here. He might be having a bit of a malfunction or something. There you go, let me go through. It's a really cool wrap he's got in that car. You see our Miata buddy there in the background, kind of push us forward. So we're now back to the back half of the course. When you see these red walls, that means you're about to enter Thunder Valley. Black flag is out, which means we're gonna have to come to a pretty slow stop here. Is this what happens? Something must have happened on track elsewhere. This, we're being able to check in with the spotter, is really helpful.
Hey, radio check, radio check.
And I'm trying to reach Key, but as we find out, her radio wasn't working just right, but we fixed that in a few seconds. So, black flag session means coming to the pits. There must have been an accident on track. Somebody might have spun out, broke something, not entirely too sure. And we're just gonna come in and wait. Now, when it comes to time attack, this does count into our time. So, when that, hopefully we get to go green again, and when it does, we have to be on it immediately.
Pulling the Jetta right now. He's on the side of the front straight, so there's still about 8 minutes left. So if we can get him off quick enough, you guys get a couple more laps in.
Sounds good. Thank you. Yeah, we might go back out.
Okay, so I'll just stay out here then.
Yep.
Alright, thanks for calling me, because I didn't want to bother you while you were racing.
No problem.
Also, is your race clock on?
It is now.
It was it on before?
No.
Okay, because I was like, damn, nothing's working. Walkie-talkie's not working. Race pack's not working. I was just feeling horrible. Okay, I feel better now.
Okay.
Alright. I'll be looking for your update.
Sounds good.
All right. So the crew of Mid-Ohio, who did an awesome job all weekend, are getting these guys off the track here. And now we restart our lap. I've already done a couple warm laps that you guys saw, so pretty much I'm gonna get onto this as soon as I can. So while we're on this, I'm gonna talk a little bit of things about setup on the car that we have it now. So we have the 255, 35s, 18 on all four corners. The wing right now is actually set to about maybe 1 degree angle of attack, so it's very low downforce. Sometimes I like to see what the car will do naturally before I start using aero to really mess with the grip. I want to see, like, what do I have mechanically? What do I have that's physically, just from the car's suspension setup? So we're getting ready. I can see a couple cars in front of me, and you kind of have to gauge it. You don't really want to catch traffic where you're going the fastest, but you also don't want to be the slowest when you're out there. So looking ahead, I've never seen the white car, so I probably won't see him. I'll probably take off in a little bit. And the Nissan here is definitely getting its tires warmed up. And like I said, this is early in the session, so the drivers haven't been separated by their times and things like that. As you go through the weekend, you get put into different groups based on your lap times to keep things more even. Because if someone can do a 120, you don't want to be out there with people who can only do 140s or 160s, whatever it may have you. So we're getting ready to warm up. Warm up lap's getting ready to end here. Guy in his Nissan zoom away. And a little bit of a slide there, but I can tell the rear tires are definitely up the temp already. So by the time we get to the keyhole again, I should be good to go for a full sprint. Make this pass here. 400 horses says let's play. So hit 100 miles, brake at 100 meters, left-hander, turn 1. This time, dropped it down to 69 this time, still working on getting that speed up. Up to 4th gear as we race towards the keyhole, get on the racing line here. We are using the pro course, so that's why it's all straight through here. Brake at the 2nd cone, down to 3rd gear, still keeping it nice and smooth. Keeping it tight, exit out cleanly, pedals down, no wheel spin. And we're up to 4th gear. This right-hander here it looks really mild, but it's actually a little hard when you have to shift all the way through because you are definitely feeling the G-forces on you. braking around 600, down to 4th, 3rd, and 2nd gear. Sliding into madness a little bit. Keep it planted, let off. And I'm gonna put my hand out the window, which means there must be another flag. So white flag's out. That's gonna mean one more lap. I'm gonna keep pushing a little bit. Shout out to Jeremy there on the left-hand side. Stay to the right, swing out left. This corner is always tricky. You wanna slow down enough to get a good entry. And they're still putting the flag out there. So I'm not entirely too sure. I kind of was thinking that maybe there was another spill or something on track and they were just going to be ending it, but there's no flag here, which means whatever was going is gone. So we're going to enter the carousel and get ready for hopefully one very quick lap. Here we go, 3rd gear, and we are out. Green flag on the station to my left, across the finish line. 4th gear, we're going to brake at about 100 meters. And ran, that time entered at around 74 miles an hour, still dropped it a little bit, but came out at 85 on the back end, so not too bad there. Definitely use more track. Up to the keyhole again. On the brakes, nice and light. Keeping it in 3rd for this session. Little too tight there because I touched the curb. And we're back on out. As you can see, the timer on my phone is starting to tick down as I lost a little time there going through the keyhole. But we'll see if I can make that up once we get into 5th gear here. We're gonna let the car start really flying as we hit 126 that time through. We're braking on down. Braked a little earlier this time, but that's okay. 2nd gear. So a little bit of a slower entry, but I'm making up some time as you see as I'm coming up through here. Granted, I did have to let off because of the flags last time, but you can see a big difference letting off will do. That's 4/10 right there just because I didn't have to let off. I'm gonna give this guy some wide berth here. We're gonna end up cruising right through it, up to 3rd gear. Get the car slowed down. A little too much scrub there. So as you can tell from the tires, you hear that really high-pitched squeal. That lets you know you've lost traction. And when you hear that low, almost trombone-ish sound, that lets you know, well, you're getting close to the edge there, bud. So yellow flag is now out, which may mean the end of this particular session. You had 2 white flags, yellow flag, and over here, yep, that's the checkered flag. So that's gonna be the end of this particular session, and not really too pumped about it. I went to go give this guy a pass through just because I saw him come up so fast. Not everyone sees the checkered flag, but I think he did. And really, that's going to be the end of this particular session. So this is what an interrupted session looks like. Not everything is always super fast, action-paced all the time. Did get to learn a couple things about the car, about how my downforce levels are definitely too low, as we heard a lot of scrubbing there. So we're going to pull into the pits. So thank you guys for watching this video. The next one up is we're going to be showing a much faster view. If you want to see some more wing cam or splitter cam things, let me know in the comments below. We'll have that ready for you guys in a few days. Thank you guys for watching. This is Brian here from Eastern Racing. Shout out to Sabelt, Licomali, Accelera, and everyone else who has helped us get this car ready to roll and run for this season. And thank you to Kiana for being an awesome spotter. Cheers.